Like
That's got to be Last Stand.
That's Last Stand, but he's not even that big there. Type in X1 Wolverine.
Okay, there's a big difference.
Yeah, I just want to. I want the people to. I want the people to see what the comparison is, and can Taron Egerton? I think he can do it. I think he can be the muscles. Look at him. That's a normal human man. That's a normal human man with good pecs and good arms.
Once again, another flagship episode. Happy Monday.
We're going to get the last in. We're going to have a good time.
You guys are going to give me more gray hairs.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Dude, I can't take it.
Don't get it perfect, then you're having a bride, or even worse, someone just like coming after you.
Hard cut into the podcast.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast, all you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. Have you guys ever thought about why podcasters didn't translate into the radio voice? Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
People knew it. People were sick of it by then.
They were sick of it, but radio hosts are still doing it.
Yeah, because they're
Ryan
on the radio.
You guys going like, "Welcome back to the show." Yeah, you know.
Okay.
It's Ryan Seacrest in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't, because I'm not old, really listen to the radio that much.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I do. I don't tend to listen to like a ton of morning shows on my way to work, but I jam to some music. I sing all the way to work.
All the way?
All the way.
So I don't really use my radio when nobody's in the car. No, I don't. I use my phone.
Okay.
I usually put headphones in and listen to my phone. Podcasts, other things.
Okay.
See, I'm in the middle. Sometimes I'll throw on a radio show. Sometimes I throw on music, which, by the way, in certain cities, it's hard to find music in the morning. Do you find that?
Nah.
For me, it's really hard to find music in the morning because everyone's like, and now it's back to the show with Amy and Jessica.
I mean, I know for sure that there's going to be some of the morning shows on, but most of the channels, aside from maybe two, I'm going to be hearing music on, because I've selected a good number of channels to flip between to find some music.
See, that's the thing. You can't flip because your radio's
broke.
My radio is broke, and that's a common
flip.
plague. But I can scroll. I can browse.
It's tougher.
Tough.
And you have no idea how many times I've been browsing and heard, "Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy with Charlemagne the God." You know what I mean? So many. Every single city in the United States. Yeah. In the morning, you're flipping through the channels. You're going to hear DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God.
Yeah. It's
some social justice.
It's radio.
Yeah. It's absolutely radio.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I tune into the early morning shows. They sometimes have fun segments.
Steve Harvey has a killer morning show.
Yeah?
And I've told you guys this.
On the radio?
Yes. Freaking, if you're going to flip to anything, see if Steve Harvey's in your area.
Now, I want to talk to y'all about the COVID Omicron variant. It's coming out, and it's, it's really killing people out.
No. This is what it was like. This happened the other day. Steve Harvey got a question from a listener as to why their kid is not behaving. And he said, "Now listen, there's a lot of kids out there misbehaving. In my day, that everyone was on their best behavior, and I'll tell you why. It's a really simple fact, and for some reason, some people don't agree with this.
If he says,
parents these days aren't whooping their kids' ass."
But you got to throw a little bit more Steve in there.
Steve in there.
But a little bit.
He talks a little quieter when he's on the radio.
And he talks like from like the bottom, like his lower teeth. He talks like from here.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets.
That's where he gets all his good ideas. His bottom teeth. It's funny ideas.
No, that's...
Steve Harvey's got a great morning show.
I like, there's one that they do on Wednesday. They do a segment called F My Life. and
on
it's
Steve Harvey or no?
No, on a different show, and they just read off from a website called F My Life.
Oh,
It's sometimes the worst stuff. It's like I was getting married, and then I found out that my husband and his best friend were in a relationship and had been for the past like 5 months. F my life. And that's the whole, and they just read off those comments, and sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're like, oh my gosh.
So bad.
I
feel
can't
bad
believe
for
it's
this person.
happening. Yeah. And
It's terrible.
I love it. And then they do another segment called Facebook Fights where they just read off people going at each other on Facebook. Oh man, that's some good stuff.
Dang it, man. What about you? You don't listen to the radio, so you don't have any good radio stories.
I don't. I podcast in the morning usually.
I'll podcast it some mornings.
You know, that either like I flip between 2 bears,
Yep.
1 cave, ear biscuit,
Yep.
or bad friends usually is my go-to.
You don't ever throw in the what is it? It's not the Lavender Hour. Duncan Trussell?
No.
The Family Hour.
No.
That's a great way to start your day because every podcast he opens with a wacky segment.
Yeah.
Where he
it's
like
too wacky to be linear though. There's no linear.
Well, first off, he's talking to a guest. Okay. He talks to a guest. But the opener of the podcast is like, the spaceman stole my socks. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just wackiness. Weird. And it makes like a song. And then he's like, that song was performed by a good friend of mine. He's an up-and-coming artist. You know what I mean?
So, no, that early in the morning, until I get like a coffee and, you know, it's been about an hour of me being up, that I don't want to hear anything weird like that. I just want to hear something that'll make me laugh, or just I can kind of tune out with it being in the background.
Gosh dang.
I can't imagine what people see if they look at me while I'm driving. Because it's probably like,
I constantly am sitting on the couch and I'm like, Wyatt's coming because I can hear him driving into the apartment complex.
I sing full force when I'm by myself on the way to work.
Is appropriate.
Yeah. When Wyatt gets home, this is what he does every time I see him get out of his car. So I hear like the music blaring from our apartment with the windows closed. I can hear it. Like, what's a popular song now? Like, what's like Harry Styles? Like watermelon sugar. Or something like that.
Yes, you do.
And then Wyatt will turn off.
If it's on the radio, you're listening to it.
No.
And
then Wyatt will turn it off, and he gets out of his car, and as he's walking up, he's still singing.
I'm
just
still
like,
singing
watermelon sugar. Like, I can hear him as he's walking in, because he's just blaring.
Because Wyatt's living a happy life.
Sheesh.
I love, dude, the music.
Music is a drug, man.
Some mornings, I'm not sad or anything, and I'm just like, I'm only looking for sad songs this morning.
I'm trying to be sad today.
I'm trying to be sad today. Where's some sad songs? And then I'm like, you're just getting into those sad songs.
Get some of that Adele.
I love it. Yeah.
Cause you had a bad day.
No, that one's too peppy.
Oh. We're going to do an opener.
So we're going to talk a little bit about a potential new, potential, I cannot stress that enough.
Thing.
But possible.
Potentially a addition to the MCU, and that happens to be this man. What's his name?
Taron Egerton.
Egerton. Mr. Egerton.
Would you stop now?
I'm just trying to get that mouse off the screen.
You're always reaching over the computer. Always reaching.
Mr. Egerton. He played on The Kingsman. He played on
Robin Hood. I'm assuming because he got these arrows. He played Elton John.
He played a fantastic Elton John.
Yeah. So first off, there's a lot of things going around right now. Fan art, you know, which I think we have one that we can throw up. Articles being written about the probability of Mr. Egerton playing Wolverine.
We have learned. So I don't know if it's confirmed, but there's rumors that he's been talking with Marvel about this role. I don't know if nothing's been confirmed or anything like that, but that's rumors.
Yeah.
But we have learned because of John Krasinski and other things that sometimes Marvel will fan service us.
Yeah, they will.
And give us who we want.
The biggest fan service of the decade.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
They'll give us the fan service. Lately, they've been pleasing.
Well, people want this. People like this.
Yeah.
I think MCU will make this happen.
Probably.
Maybe who? There was another person that was maybe. You have
no. Oh. What are you talking about?
There was actually I saw a couple. Carl Urban, who plays Aomir, and he plays in The Boys.
He's a little old, it seems.
He's been in the MCU.
Yeah.
As the Executioner, Hela's Executioner in Thor Ragnarok.
Remember?
He was, yeah.
And then I saw another one of potentially Elijah Wood.
That
was going around the internet for a while, but
okay. I would rather have Elijah Wood than this gentleman.
Hold on.
Because Elijah plays what I think of when I think of Wolverine.
You think of this weak, scrawny,
not weak,
beta male.
I can promise you, Elijah Wood will not bulk up for any role.
Nah.
It would be funny to see Elijah Wood play this. Though.
No, I don't want a weak Wolverine. I want Swolverine.
We've already had the Swolverine version.
That's Wolverine. He's a short little, Joe Rogan looking dude.
Imagine Elijah Wood just like not muscular. You look at his face and it's like
I don't want to see Wolverine come out and be like and he don't have no muscles.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, Wolverine has a positive disposition. And that by that I mean his bones are plated with antimonium.
Yep.
Say it again.
Antimonium. Yep.
How would you say it?
That's the word.
That fix.
Let's go.
No. Correct me.
I don't want to.
Antimonium?
Adamantium.
Antimonium. What is that a word?
I don't know.
Adamantium.
Adamantium was what, Sabretooth, Wolverine's brother, got.
Adamantium.
Ammonium. So, I don't think this is a bad choice.
No, I think he's good.
I think
he's got a weird mole on his neck. I don't see. He can't play Wolverine.
Okay.
You got a weird mole on your neck. Right there.
Show it off. Show the camera.
Right there.
Yeah, I do.
You got a mole.
I got one on my chest too.
It's weird.
Do I have a mole?
It's weird. Yeah, I got a weird one.
You just got freckles.
And a little prepubescent chest hair. A little bit there.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit in the center. I was thinking, Wolverine, do you think he eats a lot of meat?
Yeah, probably.
Because I was thinking,
why do you say that?
Because I'm trying to grow more chest hair. Wolverine traditionally has a lot of chest hair.
He's a hairy dude.
Because Hugh Jackman rolled it out.
Is what's going to get you there?
I think eating a lot of meat will grant a man the opportunity to
grow more chest hair.
Grow more chest hair.
I don't know that that's the case. Look at Joe Rogan.
He's got a chunk of chest hair.
Yeah, he's bald completely.
He's bald, but here's the thing, though: the more testosterone you have, all right. If this is not a sign that I might have too much estrogen in my body,
long hair, no,
luscious hair. If you have an abundance of testosterone, you lose it here and gain it here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I have not much
is
here.
This Joe Science?
What's the next picture?
Joe Science.
What do we have? What's the next picture?
I feel like we're going
fan
off
art.
page.
And now, don't ask me to go further because I don't have much more.
Okay. Well, he's pretty ripped in this picture.
No,
this is not a picture. This is fan art.
He's a strong
I'm guessing this is based on an actual photo of him.
He's strong. He's strong.
There was a picture
he's in
on an
Kingsman.
article of just him smiling, and he's got like the lines in his face, right? Those kind of like smile lines right here that I was like, oh yeah, he would be perfect for Wolverine.
Yeah.
I want eyebrows to play Wolverine.
Hold on. Define eyebrows.
The guy
he's going to be in the MCU
Millers?
already.
Yeah, he is.
What's his name?
Who are you talking about?
He played Eustace on
Will
No,
Poulter. Will Poulter. He's gonna be
Narnia.
he's gonna be in the MCU already.
Yeah, we brought him up on this. Who is he playing?
Adam Warlock.
He's
Adam Warlock.
playing the bad guy.
Why
in
would
one
you
of the
want
movies.
him? He's not even dark featured.
It'd just be funny with those
He's
eyebrows.
blonde.
Like,
He
can
is
you
blonde.
imagine those eyebrows just being like, and he's like, see.
No, I think he rolls out a really nice Wolverine.
He could do it.
And we already know he can act.
Yeah.
We've seen him in pretty hardcore, over the top action films before.
No,
That's-
I got it. Shia LaBeouf.
No.
Oh my gosh!
See, that's the thing.
First off, we're trying to go for someone young here.
We've seen him in
Robin Hood.
biopic,
Yeah.
in action movies. I'd love to see him as Wolverine, a comic book character.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Is that more moles?
Yeah.
Man, he's got a lot of moles.
That one might be cancerous, actually.
Bruh.
I'd be worried about that.
Mr. Egerton, I'm
I
not
worry
sure
about
how
this
old.
one on my arm.
You got moles.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. All right.
That one's going to kill me.
So I had a dark mole on my arm.
I'm going to lose this left arm.
I had a dark mole on my arm, right? Right there. You see the scar tissue?
Yeah.
You get the right treatment. Joshua has one exactly like it.
Oh, yeah.
Dark moles. Same arm, same position. And all you got to do is pop some sea herb on that bad boy. Sea herb. For all you people who don't know about it, Google it. Sea herb. It happens to be a herbal remedy.
Yeah.
It eats away at things in your body that shouldn't be there, like warts, like moles.
Should I do that on this arm mole?
Yes. You should get some sea herb. You should put some on there.
How do
you
you
should
get this
stick it with a
seed?
pin.
Ooh.
All right? Just stick the mole with a pin. All right? Just very gently. Put some sea herb on it. Put a Band-Aid on it. Let it rest for a few days. Replace the Band-Aid. Replace the sea herb. Do it for about 2 weeks. That mole will fall off.
It will.
That's crazy. I'd never heard of this.
And then you'll
Yeah.
gain a little bit of scar tissue, but the mole
When
will
it
be
heals.
gone.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's what
okay.
I did here.
We both did it in the same
I
spot
thought
because
I thought that was from the COVID shot or something.
because both of we had
No, I thought
dark.
you were allergic.
We had like this was almost a black mole, you know, and it worried me. And I was like, well, I've used sea herb for warts before. What if I can use it for this mole? And Josh was like, let me do the same thing.
Yeah, that's
No,
interesting.
I swear I did mine before you.
It might have been the other way around. Either way, crazy story. isn't it?
Wolverine.
Look, Mr. Egerton should grab himself some sea herb.
Sea herb. Maybe that's what he needs.
Look, and
Well, I remember Tom Holland had a mole right here on his chin
what happened to it?
for years in like every movie he was in, and then he's in Spider-Man.
gone.
No mole.
Wonder what his remedy was.
Probably surgery. They were probably like, we're gonna get rid of that mole because it's distracting.
Now, I've actually seen like really big moles, people that get surgery where they cut around it,
Yeah.
take the
We have
mole
got to
off,
move on. We have got to move on.
and then sew it back together.
Stop,
We've got to move on.
Stop.
Why is this bothering
It's
you guys?
bothering me.
bothering
Yeah.
No, they just
It's bothering
Wolverine.
me. What's next?
scissor cut it off. That's it.
Okay, good. All right.
They just scissor cut it off. and-
Stop.
Why?
Oh my gosh,
Stop.
you guys are weak of spirit.
Well, actually, Wolverine, that wouldn't work because he's got a healing factor.
Yeah, his moles just heal back. All right, so Taron Egerton,
I like it.
I'm good.
down.
I'm happy for it.
If
I'm
you know,
50-50.
I don't want to see. I think Hugh Jackman is done, and I'm glad. And I'm glad he's done.
That's why they
moved on
killed
to
him
the
off in
musical
Logan.
scene.
He's moved on. He's done the Wolverine thing. Now, I am personally am of the opinion that the X-Men are so much more than Wolverine.
But who's the most iconic X-Men?
It's Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were trying to do with the like X-Men First Class.
I think
and
Frog is the most iconic.
You're crazy.
Adamantium and Frog.
Yeah.
You guys are whack.
I didn't say it. Joshua did.
Can you just imagine like a metal tongue, just like
That would be crazy from Toad.
yeah.
Finish
That
your
would be
thought,
insane.
bro.
I would like to see more X-Men without Wolverine, and Wolverine maybe kind of on his own. I like Wolverine on his own, like by himself, not with the team. Part of the X-Men.
So wait,
but by himself.
So kind of like that. What was it? A Japanese Wolverine film that came out where he was by himself.
Yeah,
he was up in the hills with a grizzly bear.
But I think that they add Wolverine into the X-Men to like, oh, let's make this interesting because everybody likes Wolverine.
Mm.
But I don't want to watch another movie where the focus is Wolverine.
So they should separate the two a little bit.
Yeah, we saw with Logan. Distance. Logan is good, and it doesn't lean on the X-Men.
Yeah, and the X-Men, like, not First Class. What was the X-Men Origins with Professor X and
First Class?
No, that's X-Men 3 with Wolverine and
First Class.
There's X-Men, X2. And X3.
Yeah.
And then
X3 is First Class.
That's Last Stand.
No, that's Last Stand. First Class was
First Class.
Charles and
Young Charles.
Yeah.
Okay. That didn't rely on Wolverine at all, right?
It did, actually.
No, he showed up. There was a scene.
Yeah, that one didn't.
There was one scene.
The second one did. Days of Futures Past did. That was a lot.
But
that
not
was Wolverine heavy. You keep saying First Clash, and it's bothering me.
What is
Class.
it then?
It's Class. First Class.
Wait, what was the Clash? Is that Clash? Are you thinking Clash of the Titans?
Yeah, probably.
And then the third movie is Apocalypse, I think. But they just didn't. They once Wolverine was kind of out of the picture after the second one, they kind of fell apart.
And then
it didn't do as
there
great.
was Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
too.
and Dark Phoenix, and that one.
I don't think I saw Dark Phoenix.
I watched it one
bad.
time. It was
Okay, quick thoughts on X-Men Origins Wolverine, where you brought his brother Victor into it. What did you guys think of that movie? And obviously, we don't like the bad Ryan Reynolds
Deadpool.
Yeah. We don't like that.
Superior brother relationship.
I gotta say,
I like that version of Sabretooth.
Yeah,
I have to say, like, probably 80% of that film was awesome.
Yeah,
I liked significant portions of that film. But there's
Wolverine
there's so much bad in it.
Well, I like so there. If I rewatch it,
Bad CGI.
If I rewatch it, there's gonna be issues. But as far as characters and the concept up till the climax of the film, I thought was awesome.
My favorite is Wolverine as a lumberjack. Wolverine
is a lumberjack in Canada.
He's just like, he's got his house.
He's got his girl.
The girlfriend.
His woman.
And then he's just doing the lumberjack during the day. And he's just having a good life.
Yeah.
And his brother shows up and causes a ruckus.
Right. I didn't mind too much of that. I actually like significant portions of the Wolverine one too, where he's in Japan. There's a lot in there that's not great.
I didn't care about that one.
and sucks, but there's a lot of cool Wolverine stuff in there too.
In some ways, do you ever feel like in some ways we give those films a pass because we're just happy to see Hugh Jackman.
To see Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman is Wolverine and it's fun, and we get to see the blades coming out of his hands.
And he got huge for the one where he went to Japan.
Yeah.
He got huge for that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
he was pretty chunky.
If you look at the evolution of like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine,
I don't know.
X1,
hold on.
He was tiny. And then it was like up to that movie he got so big.
Let's see. I'm going to search. I think Origins Wolverine, he was the biggest. So let's look it up. I think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. The one where he went to Japan, I've watched the clip where he said that there's a scene where he's like at the house and it's raining and he has his shirt off and he's fighting, and he said he hadn't had water for like almost 24 hours at that point because or something like that, so his body could be so ripped.
Okay, first off, look at them muscles.
Yeah, but that's a picture. That's Photoshopped.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
They're fake claws. Wow, the claws were terrible.
This is a shot from the film.
Okay. But no.
Look at them shoulders.
Okay, that's big.
Yeah, but look at the next movie.
Yeah, what is
in the next movie? He's
Wolverine.
Huge.
What is it called? Did I just type in Japan?
I think it's the Wolverine.
The Wolverine?
Yeah.
All right.
Right there.
Yeah, the Wolverine.
Yeah, right here. This scene. Click on
Yeah.
that.
This one?
Look at that picture. No.
That
This
one
one.
next to it.
Look at
That
him.
is a
Look at
shot
that.
from the movie. That's not
He's
photoshopped
huge.
or anything.
All right, he's pretty big.
He's big.
Hold on.
He's massive.
I want to see that shoulder lift
That's Days of
shot
Future Past, right
so
there.
I can get some comparison going.
It's amazing. You look at him in the first X-Men movie.
Yeah.
All right,
and then
you might be right. You might be right. That's a big boy.
That's Future Past.
Days of Future
That's
Past.
Future Past,
I would
but-
say he's bigger in Days of Future Past.
Wait, really? Now we have
Future
another
Past
contender.
Look at him here. Look at him.
Futures Past and the Japanese,
Yeah.
the Wolverine were around the same time,
Yeah,
and
he's
they
huge.
were both really huge.
It's amazing to look at him in those movies and then look at him in the first X-Men movie when he has the body of a normal human being.
Yeah.
He's got muscles, but they're normal human muscles.
Mhm.
And he takes off his shirt and he's like, he doesn't have abs.
This is
He didn't-
before Marvel injected him
Yeah.
with the super soldier serum they have.
You know, in these movies, he's huge.
Yeah, look really quickly since we're doing this. Just right here. Just click on that. That's like
That's
one.
got to be Last Stand.
That's Last Stand, but he's not even that big there. Type in X1 Wolverine.
Okay, there's a big difference.
Yeah, I just want to. I want the people to.
Yeah, to
I want
see.
the people to see what the comparison is, and can Taron Egerton? I think he can do it. I think he can be the muscles. Look at him. That's a normal human man. That's a normal human man with good pecs and good arms.
Good.
That looks
I
like
don't know.
me, except minus the chest hair.
Right.
Yeah,
That's a normal
that's
human body. And then here, look, go down, scroll down.
yeah.
And then there. Look at this.
Look at
Look
his
at him
chest.
here, and then look. That's not the same,
It's the same guy.
And the
but-
timeline doesn't fit up either.
right? He's older here.
He's older.
Look at that belt buckle.
Shit.
All right, let's move on.
Holy crap, look at that vein muscle.
Let's move on.
Stop fanning yourself, Wyatt.
Move on.
That's a big difference.
You think so? Hugh Jackman has taken steroids to get that big with the veins, because the veins are a sign of someone who's taking steroids.
Look, this is what I think.
I don't know. Yeah, Tim's got veins. Yeah, look at Tim's arms.
This is what I think.
Tim's got like veins all up and down his arms, his shoulders,
You
everything.
can't compare the Gordons to a normal human
But
being.
no, but
he's not
Hugh
taking
Jackman is an
steroids.
Aussie. He might have similar genetics to the Gordons.
No,
Are you
look at
saying
him.
they're Aussie?
No,
I've
I'm
never
just
seen a
saying-
Gordon look like the guy in X-Men 1.
All right, hold on. Let me say this. This is what I think. All right, This is a legitimate thought. I think that Hugh Jackman had serious discipline getting ready for the role, and then his manager comes up to him and is like, "Hey, buddy, I see how hard you're working. I got a fella who's just,
you know,
he's got 6
It's
injections.
not that like
6 injections.
I don't know.
no.
That's it. You're super disciplined. I can see your diet. I can see
it's-
I don't know.
The real question that we'll actually, we'll tease it later. We'll tease it now for later. Is Chris Hemsworth on steroids? Is another question, but we'll circle back to that.
That I actually am gonna say more no, only because
He's naturally big.
he looks naturally big and he doesn't have the veins that Hugh Jackman had in that photo.
All right, this is what I think. I think Hugh Jackman did have help with steroids, but he was also doing an iconic role, and I think he has enough self-discipline to be like, and once I'm done with Wolverine, I'm gonna dial it back. I'm gonna get back
He
on stage.
also
You know,
he also was probably doing the dehydration thing to make
No, he
those
w-
veins
yeah.
pop.
Yeah, but
probably for certain scenes.
Mhm.
You know, if he's gonna take his shirt off.
Yeah,
When he's a lumberjack and he's just got the rolled up sleeves to his elbow, he was just
you don't need it.
he had pancakes that morning, that kind of thing.
Well, I'm down for this. I'm down for Taron Egerton.
Yeah, me too.
So
Joshua doesn't know how to feel.
50-50. We'll see.
50-50. Let me interrupt the podcast for just one moment. I want to take a minute and tell you about our Patreon. I know you hear us talk about it a lot, but it's important to us. It's where we give you guys benefits if you're a fan of Wiseworks podcast or Wiseworks content in general. Just go to the link in the description and you can see a handful of different tiers that we have there with different benefits. Just pick the one that works best for you. We'd really appreciate the support, and you also get a shout out on the podcast itself for any of the tiers. So if that's interesting to you, thanks so much for considering joining our Patreon. Now let's get back to the podcast. Before we move on, let's give a quick thanks to Daniel and Katie. Listen, thank you guys. The choice to support us on Patreon is a big deal, especially this early in the game, where we're just basically adolescent creators.
Right.
We are
Adolescent. Yeah.
adolescents. And I gotta say, I really appreciate you guys being willing to support us, getting in on the ground floor, caring for us, and believing in what we're doing. All right? It means a lot to us, and that's not a joke. It's real.
Why are you saying it like it's a joke? Why are you saying it like that? You're like, that's not a joke.
Because I feel like I haven't said anything serious this whole episode.
We do seriously appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining the Patreon.
And if you too want to support us on Patreon and you want to have a shout out on the podcast, go to the link in the description and sign up for the tier that best fits your needs. You get a shout out no matter what tier you fall under. A personal shout out. Thank you, Daniel and Katie Lilly. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Let's move right along. We're going to give a review of Thor, Love and Thunder, directed by Taika Waititi. Number 2 in the MCU franchise.
Number 2?
Yeah, Taika's.
Oh, Taika's second
Taika's
movie.
2.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Taika 2.
This is a cut-off picture.
Just Ragnarok?
Yeah, he directed Ragnarok.
Why am I thinking he had a small role in something else? Maybe not.
Ryan Reynolds' YouTube channel for his reaction videos as Deadpool.
No, I want to say like he was just like thrown into some.
It could be. I don't know.
I gotta ask you this, Joshua, before we even get started. How about that Christian Bale mole?
You can see in this photo.
It's coming in strong in this photo.
Now, I'll say this about Christian Bale, like the teeth, the sharpened teeth. That's what I think. The character in Star Wars should have looked like.
Which character?
Yeah.
I'm blanking on his name. The blue guy with the hat.
Oh, Cad Bane.
Cad Bane. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. His teeth with that sharpened, but they're small and they fit in his mouth.
Should have looked like that.
That's what they should have looked like. It looked perfect.
Wait, so hold on. So first you're on the train of it's fine the way they did Cad Bane. Now you're saying
I was like
I'd make modifications.
It's fine. One of the big things I did see was like I thought his teeth were too big, too sharp, and too big. I think they should have looked more like that.
Gotcha.
Because it looked like he was talking around his teeth in the prosthetics.
That's true.
And Christian Bale didn't look like that.
But Christian Bale's a professional actor.
But he didn't have quite as much prosthetics on.
No.
Yeah.
I think overall the best part of this movie was Christian Bale. He had the best performance.
Yeah. The movie was fun.
Why? Why?
Because you brought up Christian Bale. I'm going to the picture.
You slamming a stink pickle.
No. We're not on the podcast. No.
You don't have enough fiber in your diet.
Oh, no.
You realize you ran out of toilet paper.
No.
You realize that you're going to have to plunge this one.
No, you're probably going to have to snake this one. Pull out the snake. Get those,
you don't have any more spray for the bathroom.
All right, listen. You brought up Christian Bale. Finish your thought on why you thought Christian Bale was awesome.
He had the best performance of all of Thor's the bad guys. I don't know how to say
antagonist.
The bad antagonist in every single Thor movie. He holds up as the best one in my opinion.
I'd say aside from Loki.
Loki has its.
Loki has his own kind of thing. Yeah, I would agree, and it's
way better than Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Helen.
Hela. Yeah,
Helen
or Helen. Hela or Malekith in the Dark World.
Yeah.
And I noticed at the beginning of the movie the scar, like the tattoos of their god, they follow the same. They follow the same image of the god.
Yeah.
He has these lines that go over his head and these like half moons under his eyes.
Yep.
Is he the airbender?
No. But afterwards, after he starts killing the guys, you notice like the scars.
Yeah.
He's cut away the tattoos on his head and under his eyes. That's a cool detail.
Beautiful detail.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love it, especially the X on that one side.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to rate his performance, I would say it's about a 6.5.
Yeah.
I would give it...
Hold up.
What? I would give it a lot more than that if it wasn't for the mole that had to act with him. You know, his silent partner in this film.
Silent partner in every film.
The mole is trying to make a career of its own.
Yeah, dude, the mole is a success. The mole's out here getting respect. I bet you there's an Instagram page that's called Christian Bale's Mole. No. And if there's not, we're starting one.
His mole has gone into business for itself. Oh man, yeah, I like Gore the God Butcher, but the movie overall, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a lot to like Thor that is just not there.
Yeah.
You know, in the previous movies, even in Ragnarok, Thor has some serious moments. In this
character development, and he's a good character.
Yeah, in every other movie. In this, he's just a wacky, dumb meathead who can't figure anything out. Now, I would appreciate that more if it were part of his character arc of like, I'm doing all this to avoid how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing all this because I can't deal with who I want to be and my emotions moving forward. And so I'm playing off as like, I'm just sort of, I'm going to be happy-go-lucky, fun-loving, you know, but no,
it seems though, hold on.
He just makes dumb decisions.
Yeah, but it seems like they introduced him as that.
No.
After Thanos, he came back and he's like, the only purpose I have is for me to basically exist and try to be at peace as much as I can until someone says, we need your help to defeat this enemy. Basically.
Right.
That was his purpose in life, opening the film.
But his actions.
When we went back and watched Dark World.
Thor the Dark World, yeah.
And he's got such good character like arcs in that film. There's a whole scene where he's talking to Odin. I mean, it's really Loki, spoiler. But he's talking to Odin and he said, I am not fit to lead, to be king. I will defend the people, but I will not be their leader. And he said, Loki was better fit for this role. And he like has his whole heart to heart with what we think is Odin, but it's really Loki. And it's like, Thor
it's
can
a legitimate,
think.
yeah.
Thor is worthy.
And then in Endgame, when he sees his mother and he's talking to his mother and he's like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I am who everybody thinks I am, you know, and then he calls the hammer and he's like, I am worthy.
But
I'm still
also
worthy.
that lead up to him talking to his mother was very goofy with Rocket.
Of course.
It followed that goofy meathead vibe the whole time.
But he was in a state of depression at the time. In this, it seems like it's like, okay, so he's gotten fit, he's getting back to normal, but he's still gonna make goofy meathead idiot decisions. Like in the moment that stood out, I think there's a bunch of moments in the movie, but the moment that stood out is when he is communicating with
Zeus,
Astrid, or Axel,
Yeah.
Heimdall's son,
Yeah.
and he's like, all right, bring me to where you are. And he brings him to where he is, and he's around all the kids who are scared, and he's like, it's gonna be okay, but he's still acting like this idiot, right? And I wanted in that moment for him to become Thor.
Yeah.
For him to be like, no, you're gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be okay. I am coming for you, and to be serious. Yeah. And the same in the town when, everybody's arguing and he says Asgard, and they all silence. I wanted him to become the king, right? I wanted him to become Odin's son and lead the people in a serious way. It's cool for him to be goofy and avoid his emotions when he's around other people, but it just seemed like he was too much of an idiot.
Do you think that in some ways Taika Waititi did this starting with Ragnarok? Or maybe it happened even during the Avengers films, where we essentially, like, a majority of the audience discovered they liked Thor more when he was more goofy.
I think this is why he made him this way. I saw an interview with them talking with Taika, and he said, I don't know much about the whole Marvel world and all that stuff. I haven't done that much research, to be honest. He said, I'm trying to avoid that. I just want to create a good Thor film. And he said, for this, what I was going for was Thor going through this like midlife crisis type thing.
Yeah.
And I think Taika wasn't really playing off of all these other Thors that we have seen. He was just building his own Thor.
Without being too inconsistent with
even in Ragnarok, where he feels goofy at times, he always comes back to a level of seriousness. In this one, even in moments that should be serious, he's still being dumb meathead Thor.
Yeah.
In moments with Jane where they're talking and it feels like he should be more involved, he's still stumbling and being an idiot. And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. There's relationship stuff. And he feels weird talking with her again, and that's okay. But, there should have been more character development of I'm doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
They should I think that's what they were doing, but they should have made it more explicit of as the movie goes on of him saying, I'm trying to avoid my feelings.
I will give one caveat. I agree with everything you're saying. I will give one caveat. This was what's Taika's character in this movie?
Korg.
This is Korg telling the story. It's not really the story. It's Korg telling the Thor story. So
that was Taika's out.
Yeah, he's telling it from his perspective, which is going to be a little bit more goofy.
I can, in that sense, if you watch the movie from that perspective, I can give it a pass of it being Korg is telling this story,
and so Korg is going to kind of
fumble
some of the details.
It's going to be weird. As far as the humor, a lot of it did not land. The entire beginning sequence where where he's fighting off all the everything. I know that's supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. I didn't think any of that was funny.
I didn't so much care for that either.
Yeah, all of this stuff. I was like, I know it's supposed to be funny and it should be. Maybe I'm too old for this.
Yes, you are, for sure. Because most of Marvel these days, you can bet your butt about 60% of the film is fan service to children. And so the whole split thing, the zoom out.
Again, this could be part of Korg's story.
All right, but let's also think about this, all right? Our podcast, we don't market it to children.
No children here.
But we talk about stuff that children would like.
Yeah.
Like Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, you said it.
So what I'm saying is, in some ways, is it okay that a film like this can do a lot of service to children?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones buying the action figures.
It needs to, yeah.
They're the super fans, the kids.
But kids were also buying action figures of Predator and Alien and Rambo and
Luke Skywalker.
But that was
Luke
bad.
Skywalker.
It was a different time.
That was a different time when, stuff was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get like the extended pack of Thor with the helmet and Stormbringer.
And how did
that's cool, but like, you know.
Can we I want to step away from this because I feel like we have touched this enough. What'd you guys think of like his outfits and stuff? The
outfits
Thor,
were fun. I
his
I
Thor
always
outfit
love
was
that.
different. Do you have a
the
picture
Thor
of that?
outfits?
Which one?
His battle outfit with the helmet.
Go down.
Do you have the helmet?
Down. There's one where he's
Right
with
here?
Jane. Yeah.
No, he didn't have the helmet, but that's it.
It's good
Yeah,
enough.
it's a lot more colorful than
Don't
the other
like
ones.
that.
You don't like it?
No, not at all. That's way too close to Bible Man.
That's what I was thinking.
That's too close to
That's-
Bible
that's
Man.
Mar-
Either
Marvel-
Bible Man or like Power Rangers.
Yeah,
type thing.
Bible Man and Power Rangers. Look, I'm just gonna say this: freaking MCU.
Bible Man.
Don't go this direction. You're going too far.
I think this was just to be extra with the
Yeah.
outfit.
Probably.
I understand.
Taika's got a weird sense of humor.
I think the best moment, like humor wise, is like Zeus and his little skirt
Yeah.
and just flaring his and walking down the stairs. That was
Russell
good.
Crowe.
Russell Crowe absolutely killed that.
Yeah, he did.
I thought that was hilarious.
Do you think there could be a better actor for Zeus?
No.
Russell Crowe.
There could be plenty of good actors
Yeah.
for Zeus, but I think he did. The depiction is like old Zeus. He's way past his prime. All he's doing is like parties and orgies and stuff.
Yeah, it's part of the film.
Young Zeus would be like Marcus Aurelius from Gladiator.
From Gladiator.
And then he's just, he's gotten old and become this Zeus.
Yeah, and I think it's really fun to play with the body style. He knows is like it's almost that idea of the old dude who is way past his prime, but is still trying to live in the golden era, even though he's not there.
Got a little bit of fat
His
hanging out.
mind
his armor.
isn't there. His body isn't there. And that's why he's got the abs on his armor. But he walks out and he flares his little skirt and walks down to Thor. That had me rolling.
Yeah, that was funny.
There's a lot of one-liners in this movie that don't land. That scene in particular was
very
perfect.
good. It was
perfect.
funny. And the cool thing is, like, in some ways, when he went up and talked to Thor about the position of where the gods are at, the position of Gore, how he sees the situation, how Thor should see the situation, kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It made
which
sense.
I thought was good storytelling to launch from there into the rest of the film. Because it's a bit apathetic and a bit kind of saving our own skin, Because in some ways, Hercules is not Hercules. Zeus. In some ways, Zeus is not just looking out for himself, but all the other gods in the the vicinity, right?
Yeah.
Not so much looking out for the mortals, but the other gods. He's trying to keep them safe. So he's saying, we're having orgy parties,
I do have one complaint.
All right.
No Howard the Duck.
I swear.
Gosh. You're ridiculous, Joshua.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No,
ridiculous.
I mean, it's,
Now let's talk about this.
We predicted the Guardians thing
Yeah.
being very quick.
Very quick.
Guardians.
And that was right on the nose. If we go back and listen to a podcast or one of the videos, reactions or something, we did
one of the reactions
on the studio
trailers.
channel. You guys predicted freaking
Easy.
the Guardians is going to be at the beginning and bounce because they probably don't have the budget for a stacked cast.
Right.
You know what I mean? Through the whole film.
I mean, Chris Pratt alone, he's got a
place to be.
He's got prime places. I mean, he's got prime shoots to be at.
Yeah.
Prime places.
I knew they were going to bounce pretty quick. I don't think half of them even got dialogue.
No. Well, I know Bradley Cooper was in there for a minute with Rocket. Obviously,
We got
Chris
like
Pratt
one
got some
or two
screen time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who else? Who's the guy who plays the strong dude with the gray skin? I can't remember his name. Strong dude with the gray skin.
Well, now Dave
and
Bautista.
the red Dave Bautista. He got a couple lines amid the battle.
And so did Nebula.
Nebula got some screams in.
Got some yelling.
So everybody kind of was there, but it was very quick.
But it was funny. Is like, all right, we're gonna go by. Like he's done. They're done with Thor.
Yeah.
They don't want to. He's just taking up time at this point.
Too much. He's taking up space.
Too much.
They got to go visit Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
What? At this point, doesn't Zoe Saldana's character?
She's out there.
Yeah.
But isn't she with them?
No, she's out there, but
a previous version of her is with them.
She never had a relationship with him. She's not with them.
I thought that was implied.
No, she bounced, and he's looking for her.
Oh, and doing little quests along the way. And Thor was with them, meditating, planting Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Stormbreaker. That was a weird scenario. I kind of liked the lightheartedness that Taika takes to serious Marvel roles.
Yeah.
And at the same time, in certain moments, like you're saying, with the jokiness that doesn't land, in some ways it becomes annoying, you know? But overall, I appreciate kind of the lightheartedness. I would say, although I don't care about the development of Ragnarok and the story of Ragnarok, I think that the lightheartedness is refreshing to the Marvel universe.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But you know,
I mind it this much.
I'm kind of the opinion. It's like in Captain America: Civil War. There are moments of lightheartedness and joking and quips and comedy.
Yeah.
But the movie overall is serious and has a serious tone. I like a serious story and a serious tone. When you're gonna have a character like Gore the God Butcher, as the antagonist, or Hela,
you have to have some lightheartedness in there too.
I want the lightheartedness, but I want like a serious, I want a serious attitude from my characters,
which I feel like he brought for Gore.
Eventually,
yeah. What do we think about Jane?
So
Jane's the mighty
cool.
Thor.
Yeah, we could. I mean, clearly, it felt like a. Natalie Portman didn't want to come back for Thor, but she was like, "I'll work with Tyga. I want to, work with Tyga, and then kind of finish my story in the Marvel universe, which was
the story.
Good,
cool
rather than
that,
just letting us hang with that.
I liked. I would say, as far as character development, it's a little unfortunate that Natalie was quick to get out. So this is all we have left of Jane Foster, really.
Yeah.
In theory. But in some ways, I really like the writing for her character where it was kind of sprung on us last minute. It's like, she has cancer, stage 4, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it played well to her character throughout the film, and it played well for the ending, moving into kind of this mild, sweet situation where Thor is now loss of a love, defeated the villain, and has adopted the villain's daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it kind of plays well into the next generation of Thor, as long as Chris Hemsworth is willing to be there for it.
That's one thing that I thought was a little weird. I like how they ended up Thor almost taking on this father figure role at the end, and that's kind of how he got out of his slump and all that stuff. But I wish it had something to do with
these two.
Yeah, instead of like Gore, because that just didn't make sense to me. Like after we watched it, I was like, "Can you explain the daughter thing?" It didn't quite click for me.
Right.
I wish it was. I don't know how they would write it, but I wish they could still get rid of Natalie Portman's character, but it be kind of their kid somehow or something like that. That would have made more sense.
I'd agree.
Overall, what do you guys think?
Like a rating? Where would I rate this movie?
Thor, Love, and Thunder.
I'm going to give it a 6.7.
I'm going to give it a straight 6. I liked it better than Ragnarok, which I would probably rate it at a 5, But
I'm gonna give it a 5. And all 5 of those points are the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All 5 of them. The other 5 is the annoying stuff.
Yeah.
The writing annoying stuff.
This is kind of what I've said for a while now, which you've kind of adopted, it feels like. You can't come into a Marvel film expecting a lot.
Not nowadays.
Not nowadays. Maybe back in the early days when they were like coming out with Thor 1 and Captain America 1 and Iron Man 2. That was when you could go in and be like,
I would say even,
this is going to be the movie of the year.
I would say even Phase 2.
Maybe Phase 2.
You know, going into the second Captain America movie and it's just awesome.
Yeah, perhaps. But what I'm saying is at this point, unless it's like Avengers Endgame, you know?
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't be expecting too much. And even once you hit Avengers Endgame, although it's going to be wildly popular, it's still not going to kind of live up to what your expectations are because those early Marvel films were just groundbreaking. And at this point, it's no longer groundbreaking, it's taboo.
I would be able to forgive Marvel for everything they do going forward if they would just give me personally. I don't care about the whole other world. Just give me personally. I want a Disney Plus show, a 10-episode show. It doesn't even have to have a second season. 10-episode show, a Guardians show that isn't like these cheesy things they've been doing, but almost make it a live-action cartoon where it feels like what we would see the cartoons ever. I've talked about this before. Every episode is a new adventure type thing, and they're just traveling around the galaxy, almost Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy type thing, and just doing adventures, just doing nonsense stuff, but it feels like a live-action cartoon.
Yeah.
That's what I want. They give me that, I will forgive Marvel, Disney for everything.
Okay. I would say at this point the formula is there's a standard Marvel formula.
Yeah.
How do we write characters? How do we portray them? How do we get the movie out? And I thought, with Taika Waititi, he's kind of going to break the formula. He didn't break the formula. He used the formula, or maybe they made him use the formula. And just, added more humor, which kind of overwhelms the formula. So now it feels like a typical Marvel movie with too much humor that doesn't land. Like all the humor that didn't land in the previous Marvel movies, now there's a whole lot of it. And so that's kind of my biggest issue. When can we get a little bit more serious?
Yeah. And I don't know that we're going to see that anytime soon, to be honest.
No.
But we do need to move on.
So we haven't done it in a while. Let's fan service it.
Okay.
5 words or less for the fans.
Gosh dang it.
Wish the kid was... Wish kid Jane and Thor's kid. That's what I'm going to say.
It's like 15, 16 words, something like that.
Put however you want to workshop it to make it 5 words. You know what I'm getting.
Okay. I'm disappointed, Natalie Portman. That's it.
I'm disappointed, Natalie Portman.
That's 4
muscles.
Muscles.
Just add muscles in there.
She was pretty strong.
I would say mine would be too much comedic. Too much unneeded comedic relief.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we all said kind of encapsulated the film.
All right, that's it. Thor: Love and Thunder under our belts. We've given our thoughts. We've seen the film.
What kind of belt is this? Is this like a utility belt like Batman's got?
Thor's magic belt.
No,
this is Thor's magic belt.
The one that gives him the strength of 10 men.
A roofer belt?
Yeah, the one that has the nails.
I would say it's like
and the
either like Batman or Bible Man,
Stop.
He's got the utility belt.
Oh, discount double check.
Yeah.
If you're a creator of freelance work of any kind, and you need music for your projects, you need music for clients, for videos that you're editing, go no further than Soundstripe. Soundstripe is a awesome music library where they have any kind of genre that you will need for short films, for promotion videos, for YouTube content, or for even client work, or even like stuff for like podcast intros. Like that's what we use. We use Soundstripe all the time. So go to the link in the description, use our promo code WiseWorks10. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. Consider Soundstripe. Now let's get back to the podcast. So there's been an article out, Vanity Fair, not Vanity, I don't know, Variety.
I
don't know
I
think. What we're doing here.
One of the woke crowd, I'm sure.
Yeah, basically though, it was it was teasing this idea that we might see the last. This next film might be the last of its kind.
I didn't realize we were.
Okay. And it's kind of a scary thought. Let me present some information to you, and then we'll go. So we're talking about Oppenheimer once again.
Wait, so we're not going to see
this? Let me tell you. Let me tell you before you jump to conclusions. So Oppenheimer, it's directed by Christopher Nolan, is a over $100 million budget film. Potentially over $200 million with marketing for the film, and to pay Christopher Nolan, who is a high demand director. All right. In so doing, things like biopics, historical films, don't typically have a lot of success as far as high dollar in the box office, not just domestically, but also worldwide. Not a lot of. The only reason they've put this much money into this film is because Christopher Nolan, who has consistently, with every single film, blown it out of the water for basically the gross income for the film, all right? So every single Chris Nolan film that's come out, they have made money.
Yeah.
So that's why, and like even with Dunkirk, they made money, which is a historic film. So when they are doing this biopic of Oppenheimer, they are betting that Chris Nolan and his fans will gain money. But what they're saying is that, before you cut me off,
keep going.
What they're saying is that this could be the last, especially if it doesn't do as well as they're hoping, this could be the last of its kind. Because we might not see another historic film with this kind of budget behind it.
So you're saying a historical
narrative
film. You're specifically
yes
pinpointing the historical.
Yes.
Okay. I was about to say if you said a narrative like story about a character, I was about to say I got two words for you. Elvis Presley.
No.
That was huge.
I think
but the historicalness is what you're talking about.
This would be a different situation because Elvis Presley is kind of a worldwide sensation.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who he is. This would be more American history.
Yeah. Which they are actually saying if they're worried it won't do well worldwide.
Because most of the money that Hollywood makes is from China.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why, in a lot, going, taking a step back to Thor: Love and Thunder will make millions in China. So much money. Yeah. And all they have to do is cut out anything that, like the gay scenes. That's it. And they're so easy to cut out. I was watching and I was like, that'd be so easy to snip out so that you could release in China.
Almost crafted that way.
They are. They're crafted that way so that you can release it in China.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be as famous in China.
No. It's not. And it's really going to have to rely on American audiences. So basically, it looks like roughly, from what I've read, it looks like for this to be a success, it has to gross over around $270 million for it to break even. All right? Yeah. That's a big deal because there's articles coming out that's being like, Top Gun Maverick has grossed $600 million, Right. And $600 million is a lot more than $270 million. But at the same time, when we're talking about a film called Oppenheimer, It's about American history. And it's probably not going to do well overseas. It's not a blockbuster. It's not something that you can put on kids' lunchboxes or sell to kids in action figures.
You could.
You could. No, listen, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going against this film. And the one selling point is Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan working on it.
That's it.
Yeah. He'll do it. He'll do it.
No, we know he'll bring the thunder.
The lightning and the thunder?
The love and thunder, if you will. But he'll bring the thunder. But what we're saying is, will the audience receive it?
Yeah.
You know, that's the big question. And that's why there's people saying this might be the last of its kind, especially with Nolan's classic filmmaking style. Like, look at this camera that he's using. Panavision. He shoots on film.
Yeah.
All right. Panavision is an old style
him?
Film. That's him with the
no wonder
fisherman hat.
No wonder he's weird.
He's weird
looking.
He's just Chris Nolan.
Yo, the weirdest people sometimes make the bestest movies.
But if you take a look at that camera, it says Panavision. They were using that equipment on the first Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a classic, loving of the art kind of filmmaker, director. And at the same time, we might not see too much more of this kind of filmmaking. Not with film, but like this more artistic narrative story that's a drama piece.
Yeah, they're tired of doing the blowing off the dust.
They're tired. They're tired of making sure that stays in the dark, because if it gets exposed to light, you're screwed. A whole day of work is gone.
There's so many more ways of doing it today that's a lot easier.
But yes, there are. But I appreciate Nolan for his purity.
That's the way that Nolan films is not going to be the death of the biopic.
No.
Like one of the high dollar historical movie biopic. It's going to be it's going to be like specifically like American history or European history, or almost any like I would say Western style history, even probably a movie in Mexico or something.
Maybe
you're not gonna see prophets from China. They're not interested in something that happened, 100 years ago.
Yeah, over
here, that not over there. If it's especially if it's not like a blockbuster thing.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Unless it may be Top Gun, because Top Gun is cool.
Yeah. But Top Gun was
blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a blockbuster. And I don't think Oppenheimer is going to necessarily be a blockbuster. It's just not. It's not designed that way. It's not going to be able to be marketed that way, because it's going to be through and through a Nolan film mixed with what happened in history, and what happened with this historical figure. So I'm slightly worried, but I have hope.
There's hope.
That the audience like us and millions of other people will show up, pay for, and enjoy this film.
I mean, we were worried for Dune.
A bit.
We were worried for Dune
for a different reason.
Because of the HBO release. I don't know how Dune performed in China, but people were worried that wouldn't perform. We wouldn't get a sequel to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are.
We did, yeah.
Not yet. We didn't yet.
Not yet.
But we are.
It's coming.
They're working on it. They're literally working on it as we speak. They might be filming a night scene right now.
That would be really cool.
But probably not, because they'd be doing it overseas. So it'd be like early morning over there.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'm so excited for Dune as well.
You know what? It would be a cool biopic that I would like to see?
What?
Is a Dick Van Dyke biopic. That would be fun.
Oh, just about Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke's life.
That sounds more like a documentary.
I mean,
no, I'd like. I could watch a biopic.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of film history. Like can you know how old he is? And like he was back during the almost when Disney started.
Yeah.
Till he's still kind of is acting.
Is that RDJ? Right
Yeah.
there? Oh.
Yeah. So a couple pictures we have here for the actors. You got Cillian Murphy over there. You got Robert Downey Jr. over here. Cool character looks.
Yeah.
You know?
The high pants.
The high pants. The suspenders.
Those are up past your belly button.
Way past.
Those are touching your rib.
Look at how small that tie is.
touching your rib cage.
I think it's a cool look. I'm excited to see Robert Downey in this character. I think honestly, these characters across the board are going to be awesome. Stellar, in fact. Interstellar.
Yeah. Interstellar.
But I think look at this man in the red shirt. Just
killing it. Doing a heck of a job.
Heck of a job. Just over the shoulder of Robert Downey.
That man is a star as well.
Yeah. So, just wanted to bring that to the forefront. I think we've already mentioned this on previous episodes. I think Cillian couldn't probably have been casted better for a biopic role than Oppenheimer.
He's good.
Right on the money as far as physical features. And we know that Cillian can just adapt into a role.
He's good. He can. Oh, man.
You guys still haven't watched. Still.
I haven't finished. Shut up.
You haven't even started it.
I watched all of it.
We made a bet, but I don't remember what the bet was.
No, you said if we watch the first season, then you will finish
Avatar.
All of it.
And did you watch it?
Yeah.
You're a liar.
No, I'm a liar.
You haven't even started it.
I have. I watched like
the first episode doesn't count. I watched more of Avatar than you've seen.
We both have to watch it.
Peaky Blinders.
No.
I think that
we're talking about Peaky Blinders,
probably.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Joshua and Wyatt refuse.
How many seasons is
Not
there?
that I refuse.
6.
Just,
That's a.
It's like getting into Breaking Bad.
It is.
That's a lot to commit to.
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm trying to,
you're gonna
go out. I'm
love
trying
this.
to, and I don't got time for.
You're gonna love Peaky Blinders. I promise. You're gonna love it. You just gotta get past the first few episodes because it's not that the first episode's not good. It's literally because you're just trying to get into a new show.
I got to like the episode. They're like out in a field on the hills with their cars, and they start hitting people with their hats.
Oh, the hat episode. I saw that.
I think that's episode 1.
Nah, it's not. Because
Maybe
I remember
episode 2.
I watched quite a few episodes.
Where they introduced the blades and the hats, the Peaky Blinders.
Hat episode. I have not seen
the Peaky Blinders.
I know.
Are we? What next?
That's it.
Oh.
That's it. Finishing it off.
Outside of the animation pick for this week. All right?
Yeah, I got a strong one.
Okay, introduce it. We'll switch.
I wanted to show a clip. Apparently, we can't because of copyright issues.
It's unfortunate.
Go ahead and.
Oh yeah. What's up, Danger?
No, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. There's a lot of clearly it's like 3D animation, but it's 3D animation that feels like comic booky, but yet sketch animation, even though it's 3D, and there's so much to it.
So cool
when you watch it, and it's super cool when he's like, flying through New York. With his webs, he's doing his thing.
It's so good.
Sick.
This is probably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies ever.
Really?
It's a beautiful movie to watch. Sound design and mixing is amazing. Character growth and character arc is just really solid. It's basic, but it's solid.
I need to watch it again. I've seen it, but I need to watch it again.
And all together,
have you seen it all the way through?
No.
We should sit down. We're going to stop this recording. We're going to go watch it after this.
No, we're not.
Yeah, it's just a fun movie to watch in general.
I guess I do need to watch this before our final episode this season because I have to have an even contender.
Wait, you haven't? I was positive you'd seen this.
No, I've seen... Is this the second one, Into the Spider-Verse?
There's only one.
Oh, there's only one.
When is the second one coming out?
There should be a second one, but I don't know.
It's still...
Yeah.
Pending?
Yeah, pending.
Maybe I have seen it. It was a while ago. Is this the one with Post Malone on the soundtrack?
Yeah, Sunflower.
Okay, I think I have seen it.
It's good.
I think I'm trying to think of. I saw the trailer for the next one, and I think that's the one you're talking about. But I haven't stayed on top of the Spider-Verse and I need to delve back into it and prepare for the next film. But that's what we have.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
It's
Monday morning. Look, we know that you're sad this episode's over. And we know that you want us to just keep talking to get you through the work day. You're like, crap, why won't they just keep talking? Like Joe Rogan, roll 3 hours, roll 5 hours. I need to get through a work day.
$10, you could see a lot of pre-shows that are up.
There's a whole ton of pre-shows.
Also,
on the Patreon.
if you pay just for the basic tier,
you get to see
right now, next week's episode is available on Patreon. So if you just go join us on Patreon, linked in the description, you can go watch a whole nother episode right now.
Whole nother episode. You can watch some watch parties me and Wyatt have done.
You can watch everything over there. But
not for $4.
We've already plugged the Patreon. We already plugged it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for being here. We love you wherever you're watching or listening. We think you're the best. And don't forget about the Midnight Special coming out on Friday evening at 10 p.m. every single Friday to kick off the weekend with a shebang. All right? And if you want to watch it or listen to it on Saturday morning, that's cool too. It works either way. Thanks so much for listening. We love ya. You gonna shave off that mustache?
See,
it's looking kind of rough.
Maybe.
I've been staring at it the whole episode.
Yeah, it's not great, but the thing is, if I'm convinced myself that if I let it grow, it will get fuller.
It will.
If I don't let it grow, it ain't gonna do nothing.
Every time I let my facial hair just grow out farther and on my face, that was like the farthest I'd let it grown out before I shaved it today. And then I shaved it. I feel like it'll come back fuller.
You think?
Yeah.
I've had this theory for a while and I don't feel like it does.